Yeah, so for me, I'm working from home.
Chris.
So we went as soon as the lockdown was announced, then I went into work from home mode anyway. So Monday to Friday is just work, but it's a lot more sort of online calls and meetings that we used to do. And I used to work from home at least once a week anyway. So it was, it just made it that I just stayed home a lot
Hmm.
more.
Okay.
And we're still here. We haven't killed each other. So we're going to be together till we die because this is the test, Fana. I was fine the first 60 days, but I really started to feel depressed on Saturday because I just don't like staying inside. And I felt like I hadn't seen the sun in so many days, and it's soul crushing because you're just confined to a little apartment, right? Because we are not really allowed to walk outside unless we're going to the grocery store, pharmacy, or the liquor store. The liquor store is an essential service, so our mayor has kept it open. Um, so it's getting to me now, and it is what it is. We have to ride this through. So there's light at the end of the tunnel, I think. So we're just hoping it'll end soon.
One of the things for me though is we used to have routines, usually centered around sport, with a lot of the guys that we socialize with. So yeah, so on a weekend, it would be football if this is the season, or motor racing on a Sunday, and we'd go out and we'd meet up and you'd watch these things, and you'd just do things like that. So it's affected the routine quite a bit.
And I can see Broadway from my kitchen window, and I used to love to go to the theater and the opera and the symphony. Can't do anything. So I'm looking at Broadway and I feel like it's teasing me, but we can't go. We haven't seen our friends in 60 days, not been anywhere, really. We've been stuck here for 60, this is day 63, something like that. So it's pretty hard.
Has there been a moment that you forget about the virus?
No, it's difficult because it's at you 24/7. We have about 20,000 people dead in New York City, which is a lot, and it's hard to escape it. But turn on the TV, it's the virus or Donald Trump, and I don't want to see or hear from either, right?
Also, we live in a high rise, so as soon as you go to the elevator, there's signs on there about the etiquette of getting into the elevator if there's other people there or not. So even if you'd forgotten about it in your apartment and you want to go out, you're going to see it instantly, a reminder. So even before you sort of get to the street, there's reminders there. Yeah. So you can never get away from it.
Yeah, so it's pretty dead in the city. I mean, I think Manhattan, everyone's adhering to this social distance thing. You hardly see people on the streets. Whereas the boroughs like Brooklyn, Bronx, people are still going to parks and not really obeying all the rules. So actually, it's been very impressive how Manhattanites have really focused on staying home, and respecting the law and everything.
Big question. How are you feeling about the politics in the USA right now?
It was so divisive before this happened, and it's still the same.
Well, I would say that the biggest virus in this country is the man in the White House. So the virus is him, the cure is voting. And I think he has blood on his hands because we've lost so many people because of his inept response to the crisis. He kept saying it was a hoax. We're going to have like 5 cases and the next day it'll be 0 cases. Didn't take it seriously. We could have been better prepared. And now he's kind of in a tight spot because the whole world has rallied against him, and the US is officially the laughingstock of the world because of their response to this.
But the trouble is, there's no independent news source really in the US.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, so there is no independent news source. Each channel is one or the other, basically.
So how do you choose where you get your information from?
Well,
I tend to, I read everything I can. I mean, Economist, Huffington Post, Reuters, any foreign newspaper, like the big newspapers in Australia or Canada or Singapore. I tend to go to foreign news outlets because it's more objective and more rational, their political viewpoint.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I would be looking at like BBC or Al Jazeera, something like that, just to see what they're saying about it, because, you know, CNN is going to be all against Trump, Fox is going to be all for Trump. So it's, you know, you have to watch both a little bit just to see what they're saying.
Are you following what's happening in other countries at the moment?
Yeah, so obviously I'm English, so I follow what's going on sort of in Britain. And then having lived in Sri Lanka, we keep in touch with people over there. So we kind of follow the different guidelines and everything that's going on and look at the numbers in those two countries mainly. But, you know, just get the general news from around the world as to what, you know, which countries are going to be opening up and things like that. Because one of the biggest things for me is, when is international travel going to open up? When are they ever going to sort of do anything like that? So it's kind of interesting to see, you know, you have to see what's going on in other countries.
What are your best tips on coping with the lockdown?
Live alone if you can help it. No. So you got to have things to do. I've bought jigsaws. I've organized my photographs. I take a lot of photographs. I've been organizing those, gone through magazines, gone through books, pulled out clippings from the magazines that have an article that I wanted to keep, got rid of the magazine, sorted through my clothes. You have to have things to do.
Yeah, I think hobbies in general are good to distract yourself with. But I've been doing a lot of reading, and I spend a lot of time on social media. You know, I'm connecting with people all over the world, like calling them for hours on end, because everyone's in the same boat, right? Everyone's at home or working from home. So I've heard from people I haven't talked to in a long time. We're cooking at home. I'm even baking. Oh, you'd be so impressed. But I'm craving a slice of New York pizza. That's what I want.
In all honesty, how scared, afraid are you right now for the future?
I mean, not scared. It is what it is. It's just an uncertainty of what's going to happen.
I mean, I am a little nervous because we have 30 million people out of work, you know, who file for unemployment. So if they don't have the budget to pay us, we could all be laid off, you know, and that's a real concern. It's going to take a while for New York to recover from this. And New York is the economic engine for the US. You know, we generate more revenue than any other state or city.
Yeah, I mean, it's a selfish view, mine, in that sense. But a lot of people, you have to look after yourself kind of first as well. You know what I mean? As long as I've got work, I'm kind of okay.
And then he looks after me if I'm jobless.
So, so that's, you know, that's one of the things that you have to think about.